Hi, I'm Matt Hopper, and this is a little video presentation about a public art project I've been working on for my contemporary fine art degree at Hull School of Art and Design. I've been researching the history of this housing estate where I live in Hull and the farm that preceded it, and responding to the research artistically. Never been any good at Mario Kart. I'll begin at the end of the project and work backwards. Just to the right there's the defences to keep the travellers off that field, dug by the council. Great idea. That little scrubby bunch of hawthorns marks the terminal point of a field boundary hedgerow that ran across the estate, or what used to be the farm. This is the memorial I put here. I chose to put it there because it was kind of out of the way and wouldn't bother anyone too much. Hopefully it'll stay there long after I'm gone. Yeah, that field across to the left, that's the last remaining part of the farm, the Westbourne farm, which was a big dairy farm. That's how the whole estate used to look. Little cows munching on the grass. I'm walking along the line of that hedgerow now. It used to mark the edge of the fields. I got the plans from History Centre, the actual plans for the estate. That's where I put the memorial, and that's the line across which I was walking. You can see the trees they decided to leave. That's where I actually live now, or where my parents live, where I used to live, which is that house there. I got the plans for these houses as well. It's amazing to see all the dimensions and the way they were drawn up. So I've actually drawn these houses, similar style drawings, but apparently I live in a Q-type house. Nice to know. I'm gonna use these as part of an art project at some point in the future. Quite a nice day. View of clouds. A lovely spring day. Kind of making a little detour from the route of the hedge around the houses. It ran just to the left. This big tree here, it's not on the plans, but it probably predates the estate. Contemporary with the farm. I love that tree. You can see the hedgerow ran through those houses there, and you can see they've left the trees between the houses. It almost looks like they've fit the houses around the trees, which is a nice thought. I have to imagine the planners and the architects walking around the farm thinking, I will stick a house here, leave these trees here. This is the line of the hedgerow I'm walking along again now. You can see the trees dotted around. There was a big ditch as well between them originally. This one of my favourite lines of trees there. I drew them a few years ago from a slightly different angle. And I love these two. They always remind me of two dancing, skinny people sort of reaching out to each other. I don't know. Very empty estate. There's never anyone around. It's so peaceful. Across the road, the ditch ran across here. See that hedgerow stretched down there. Just crossing the road. That house to the right in the tree. Did a drawing of that a few years ago as well. Hedgerow ran down here. That tree's part of the boundary. Such a nice vibe on the estate. Can't explain it. There's another hedgerow there. Two field boundaries met each other here. See the line of it there. It does carry on right between these bungalows and the houses. Kind of like a weird kind of archaeology. There must be all sorts in these fields though. Must be all sorts buried beneath these houses. The farm itself, I've traced it back to the 1600s. Probably went way before that. Another little ghostly hedgerow. Back to the that runs along here. That's where this little section there. The estate was built in blocks with by different contractors. This is just one little block. T. Wright and Son. I think they still exist. I just love all these little details that the plans have, that the contractors must have looked at and interpreted. See here the instructions to leave certain trees. Just blew me away seeing these plans. Really fascinating. Presumably the hedgerow carried on along this footpath. See the lovely little line of trees. Definitely a hedgerow. I was taking pictures of that. I think it was last year, and a lady came out of one of these bungalows just to the right and asked me what I was doing. Turns out she used to be a teacher. She actually taught daughter of one of the architects of the estate. I love this little central bit here with those three massive trees. Definitely looks as though they've built the houses around the trees. Left them there for aesthetics or sentimentality, or just a love of trees. amazing silver birch just to the left here. Just looks really surreal and vivid. It's so white. Coming out here, right across the road there. One of my neighbours riding by there. She's so sweet. Yeah, that was a block of flats and shops which occupied this land here, directly opposite. That was part of the. That was demolished after the explosion in a kebab shop. And here's the stone circle which they left in its place. This land's been sold now. It's going to be possibly housing development or some kind of a sheltered housing, I don't know. Quite sad really. I'd liked it if they could have left these stones here. It's a nice little green section. I remember when they first put them there, I was amazed. My very own stone circle. Took this picture straight after they'd been plonked there. I used to walk along this road to the Hull Grammar School every day, where my mind was filled with propaganda. Fantastic trees beside the pavement here. Really beautiful. The school was in the field to the left. It's just a sports ground now. I'm just thankful that they've left some open space without actually building on it. Not that I can actually get across to it, it's all fenced off with these horrible spiky iron things. Really love the ordinariness of this place. A lot of my art seems to be exploring the idea that anywhere can be the stage for a kind of great drama and adventure. So this is another parcel of land that's been sold as well, just beyond the fence. Yeah. The stone circle is B. Yeah, this land there goes back to the medieval times, the farm. It must have seen so much drama and violence and love and boredom, lost in the mist of time and waiting in the distant future. These massive concrete canister things have been left by the council to stop the travellers getting through those fences. It looks like something from the war. I drew one of these blocks of flats here from a different angle. It's my favourite drawing. What am I doing?
Why do you cry over things you can't change? It's out of your hands. It's out of your hands. Out of your hands. Learn to see through. Go with the flow. You make yourself ill. Go with the flow. Out of your hands. Out of your hands. Out of your hands. Just making a detour down to the cycle path. There's a train track running across there. To my right, on there, that marks the edge of the farm. Some great trees down here as well. I drew this little scene. One of my favourite trees at the bottom of there. I sometimes go and say hello, give it a hug, hang out for a bit. Coming to the end of the journey, here's Hawes Walk, where I live now. You see, there's no vehicle access at all. You can see this was built before mass ownership of cars. That garden looks lovely in the summer. It's a bit messy at the moment. I'm still doing the place up, making it habitable. Who's that shady looking dude? Oh, it's me. Nice chair. There's my gravestone in the corner there. Previous art project. They've got some documents here. I found an auction when the farm was sold, auctioned in the mid 1800s. It's kind of interesting because inside it gives you details of the the fields, how all the fields are used. Here's a plan of the farm that went with the sale. That's the farmhouse. Ran right down to Setting Dyke, which ran across here. Well, it's still there actually. I found a map dating to the 1600s in the Beverley Treasure House. West Bulls was there then, so it probably goes way back to medieval times. I can't find it any further back. You can see all the area around. A lot of the names still surviving, roads and stuff. But these two areas here, dots, that was all common land for a common meadow. And all these sort of little marshy symbols, that was all common land as well for people to graze their cattle on and things. It's all gone now. See all the woods that disappeared. Massive areas of woods. And here ends my presentation.